Here we go again. Part 3 of the weight loss trilogy that nobody was asking for. My metabolic age is 60. That needs to change. I need to change. Hello my friend, and yes, as you can guess, we're back on the jabby-jabs. First injection was last night. And this video today is going to be a little bit different, I hope, because I know there are 3 things that I need to change and address on this constant battle of weight loss. Nobody's weight loss journey is perfect. Some people can be really successful from the get-go. They can join a slimming club and they just lose weight, they're perfect, they hit target and they stay at target forever. Some people, like me, are yo-yoers and you don't always realise what part of the problem is. I know other people who've done the weight loss jabs like me, they've lost the weight, they've kept it off and they've been successful. But I'm going to share with you today a little bit about my story. So hello, if you're new here, my name is Lisa, and if you are a returning watcher, then you are very welcome back, my friend. So I've pretty much had a problem with weight since I would say 2011. When I came back to live in the UK with my family, I used to have 2 restaurants abroad and that kept me really, really physically fit. I didn't probably realise how fit it kept me. I'd worked in bars and kitchens since I was very young, since I was 15, until we came back here and I was 39. I had retrained a few years before as a beautician because when we came back to live in the UK, I didn't want to go down the bar and restaurant route. So yes, and then sitting at a desk working for 8 to 10 hours a day and all those lovely new sort of cakes and coffee shops and things we weren't used to when we lived abroad definitely had a great big impact. And probably within the 18 months of coming to live here, the weight was creeping on quite rapidly. The most I've probably ever weighed since coming back, probably when we came back, I'm trying to think what weight I was when we came back. Probably about 11.5 stone, something like that. That was kind of like the weight I always sort of bobbed along at when we lived abroad. And then went up to probably 13 to 15 stone, and that was my fluctuating weight pretty much for the best part of 13, 14 years. I had this constant cycle of joining slimming clubs, doing really well for a couple of weeks, maybe losing half a stone to a stone, and then just basically not really paying much attention, not doing it, not following it. I did have a couple of successful attempts where I probably lost maybe 2 stone, but I would very rapidly put that back on. And the thing for me was that I never learned when I was at these slimming clubs was about food noise and about my bad habits, which would have been binging and just ridiculous amount of chocolate and cake that I was eating, and never really addressing that problem and never really acknowledging that I had that problem. So when I first started taking the weight loss injection back in July 2024 and the food noise stopped and I had a lot of time to sort of process and think about, well, there's no thoughts about food and I'm not thinking about eating, and I'm not that I wasn't interested in food, but I wasn't thinking, what am I doing for dinner? What am I doing for tea? Like my husband would ring me and go, what are we doing for dinner? I'd be like, I don't know. And I just have absolutely no interest in thinking about food, which was just not like me at all. So I took the weight loss injection until June 2025. So that is about 6 months ago. We are December 25 now, if you're watching this sort of further into the future. And yeah, I was taking Mounjaro. I went up to, I think it was the 10 milligram dose. I took it really slow. I did like 2.5 months or 2 to 3 months on each injection. Yeah, and then I suffered really badly with nausea. and dizziness and sickness. I was never sick, you know, like it didn't really sort of, well, I wasn't like throwing up every 2 minutes. I had the diarrhea, I had the constipation, I had lots and lots, I had the side effects of the jab, the bruising on my belly, and I did have lots of other side effects, but mainly the nausea. Anyway, we were away earlier this year, and I kind of thought, I still had another couple of stone I wanted to lose, and I thought I could control it, and I thought I'd learned enough to carry me through. However, obviously I hadn't, and here we are again. In October this year, then I decided to start the journey again. However, not with Mounjaro this time. I thought I would go to WEGOVY. Now, WEGOVY is considerably cheaper than Mounjaro. Previously with Mounjaro, I used to get it from Boots, and I would go and collect it and pick it up. But I thought I would try WEGOVY, and I was going to try a weight loss tablet, but I didn't. If I try and remember, I will link the description to that video, because I bought them and I had, do you know, I'm not going to go into it because there was a great big fiasco of the order not coming and them sending me another one, and then I had 2 lots of tablets. But by the time I was going to take them, basically my lovely viewers, my lovely community here on YouTube convinced me not to. So I will pop a link to that video either in the description or at the end of this video, and go and watch that, because the comments were like hilarious, and they did basically put me off. But I won't go into that too much here, because so I didn't end up taking those tablets. So when we were away in October, and I kind of thought, right, I need to get a grip of this, because I can feel myself getting out of control. I can feel my portions getting bigger. I can feel myself getting greedier. I'm saying yes to things where normally I don't really want it, and I can feel those bad habits coming back in. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about my bad habits a little bit further on. So there's 3 things that I know I really need to control. So I'm going to talk about those in this video today. So yes, in October, I ordered the WEGOVY from Asda. My daughter picked it up for me, and then when I came back off holiday, I started, and after 2 weeks, I had an allergic reaction to something. However, it wasn't the WEGOVY. At first, I thought it was. I thought it was a lot of different things, and we think we've kind of got to the bottom of it now. I've had some allergy testing done, and we've eliminated lots and lots of different things. I'm making big changes to my diet. So yes, but anyway, it wasn't the WEGOVY. This week, so that is probably about 4 to 5 weeks now since I've last taken the WEGOVY injection. And I decided last week that enough was enough, and I wasn't going to wait till January, because that's what I started to think. I thought, oh, I'll just get past Christmas and I'll just start in January. But then I thought, no. I thought, do not do that, because in January everybody else is going to be doing it, and I know what I'm like. It'll put me off, and I don't know why I'm like this. You know, it's like, I just find it really difficult to explain. I get so overwhelmed sometimes by other people that I have to just sort of stay in my own lane. And I don't know about you, but the thing of like comparison with everybody else, you know, like starting a diet on a Monday or starting in the new year, I have to sort of disassociate myself from that, and I have to start like when I'm ready. However, it is a Monday and I did take my injection last night, but it's the beginning of a week for me, and Mondays are my kind of planning day, so that is really good for me. Now, I don't know about you, but this is probably one of the worst times of the year for me. Just hold on there, because Kitty was absolutely screaming her head off to go outside, and it was a bit rainy, it was a bit drizzly. I thought, oh, she'll be all right. Now, it's absolutely chucking it down, so I'm going to have to let her in. One sec. She won't come in. She sat under the table on the chairs, getting absolutely drenched. Oh, dear me. Anyway, you know, I can feel my jeans getting a bit tighter. I can feel like I'm putting it back on my face, and I need to start now. I can't wait till January. I just can't wait. Right, she's in, and like a drowned rat. So yes, where was I? These 3 parts of my life that I know I need to change. So let's go. So the first part of my problem is kind of like the first two parts basically. And while I might look very organised and tidy on the outside, I'm very, very, very disorganised. I have terrible problems remembering things. I can remember them for a certain period of time and then I forget. So the first example of this is taking my medications and also vitamins and minerals. So I have a vitamin D deficiency and I have to take some medication for HRT and a few other things as well. So yeah, with the HRT, I tend to forget to put the patch on the right day, and do you know what? Like, I don't know where I'm up to. There's other vitamins and mineral supplements that I like to take, like turmeric and magnesium and certain things. I don't take loads, but I forget. And some days I take them for like 2 or 3 days. I'm really good, and then I just forget. The thing that I take the best is my mineral supplement, which I've taken since 2016. You might have heard me talking about this in a video before, and yeah, it really helps me. If I don't take it for a couple of days, I can feel it in my brain. It's weird. So what I've done is my husband takes quite a lot of like medication for like his heart and blood pressure, and he bought this thing from Amazon, which is 7 different little tubs within this box, and it's really been helping him remember to take his medication on time, because he has to take some in the morning when he gets up, some of a lunchtime, and then some of a night when he goes to bed. And sometimes he's like, oh, I can't remember if I've taken it today. Anyway, he bought himself this off Amazon and he's been doing really well. So it's got the 7 boxes in with the days of the week on each one, and then it's got the day on the side. It's got Monday there, and then there's 3 little pictures. So you've got morning, lunchtime and evening, and then they pop up here like that. So some of the ones I take, I have to take with food, and others it kind of doesn't matter, and some are taken better in the morning and some better in the night time. But I just need to go through all of these vitamin and mineral supplements. Well, the mineral one's just basically a tablet that goes in my cordial, so that's not a problem. So I need to sort all of these out and get on top of it and really try. So I don't know about you, but I've got lots of bottles of vitamins and things and tablets that have been recommended to me, herbal things. And like I say, I take them for 3 days and then I just forget. And it's just my brain's just so busy thinking about other things that I just kind of don't know where I'm up to. So when I've done this video today, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to get the tablets out, and I'm going to sort that box out and try and remember this week and get on top of that. So that's part 1. The other part 2 of this is sometimes, and this isn't really to do with the weight loss, but it's the feeling of being overwhelmed by everything, and then I just go brain foggy, and I don't know, I just sort of lose my control and I lose my concentration. And that is that I'm so disorganised behind the scenes as such. Every cupboard is one extreme to the other. It's either very, very tidy and organised or absolute chaos. So for example, all these cupboards behind me are chaos. And in the bedroom, it's chaos, but there's some that are like, my socks and underwear drawers are so tidy and pristine and everything's all in rows. Yeah, I've got another drawer which is just totally upside down, and I feel like I really need to declutter. Hopefully next year is going to be the year we move house. We're looking to downsize, and we just got so much stuff, clutter in cupboards, that it really, really needs doing. And I feel like this is part of the process for me to stop feeling overwhelmed, is by just to sort of tap away at these little jobs. And I know you might think, well, what's this got to do with weight loss? But I feel sometimes I feel so overwhelmed that I can't even think about planning and doing anything, because of this feeling of feeling overwhelmed. I don't know if that makes absolutely no sense to you, or that's just me having a bit of a ramble, but every day I kind of have this overwhelming feeling of anxiety that I just don't feel prepared enough for, not life in general, but do you know what I mean? It's like I just feel like I need to really improve this side of my life massively. And I want to do this before January because I want to be in the throw. When January comes, I don't want to be going, oh, I'm going to start doing that and have all these New Year's resolutions that, because I do love a bit of planning. I love like having a vision board and a plan for the year, and I love making plans, but I feel like I need to start now and not in January. So when I get to January, I'll feel like a bit more clearer, and my plans can be a little bit bigger and better than they would be if I just ignored all this for now. And also December's a really good month for me because Jed's got so much on at the theatre with Panto this year that he's going to be out quite a bit of a night time. So because he works of a day and I work of a day, that of a night time, I feel like we should sit and watch the TV together or do things together. And I don't feel like I can take myself off of a night time to, you know, to go and tidy a cupboard or whatever. So I want to try and make it a bit of a goal for December that I tidy 2 areas a week of different spaces. So it could be like my bedside drawers, totally take everything out, tidy it, sort it, and put it all back in. So because I'm just feeling so overwhelmed with everything, and I think when we move, I'm going to be like just stressing really, really loads. So yes, on the outside it looks great, but inside the cupboards it is an absolute nightmare. So I need to declutter. I read a book and watched the Netflix series of Marie Kondo and the magic art of tidying up, and I was really I really got a boost from watching that and wanted to do it. And we were moving house last time, it was 2019, and we did it with all the cupboards, all the drawers and everything, and it made me feel really, really good. So I want to try and regain a little bit of that. So I want to get on top of my medication and my tablets, my vitamins and my minerals, and take them on a regular basis, and also get a bit of the decluttering around me sorted. Also, medical emergency with my nails. Look at that. So I need to get that fixed this week because I cannot walk around for another 2 weeks with a finger that looks like a stump, basically. Anyway, this seems like a good a time as any just to ask you to help support my channel by liking this video, leaving me a little comment telling me how you're feeling about your weight loss journey, if you're on a weight loss journey or if you're thinking of one, or if you need to have a bit of a declutter in life like me at the moment. Now, you may have heard lots of YouTubers talking about the hype button, and if you go to the comments and swipe over, it'll say hype, and this helps to push our content out. There's like a leaderboard, top 100 each week, I think it is. I doubt very much I will get there, but it would just help other people to find my videos. So thank you very much for supporting my channel in this way. If you wouldn't mind, be so kind. And also give us a little cheeky subscribe if you'd like to see more of this content. You're also very welcome to pop over and say hello to me on Insta. I have the same handle, it's Lisa's Life Online, and I kind of do share a little bit more of myself in the stories on there, so you're very welcome to pop over there, and if you like a bit of the Instagram as well. So yeah, pop over and say hi. Now, the biggie, the big problem, the one I didn't realise existed, is the food noise. And when I first started taking the Mounjaro, the suppression for me from pretty much the get-go was quite strong. When I started taking the WEGOVY back early in October, I didn't feel that as much, to be honest. So I'm hoping this time might be a little bit different. But it was early days, so, and the food noise with Mounjaro really quietened down really quick. And from talking to a lot of people, they had a very similar experience to mine. I only know one person who took the WEGOVY personally, a friend of mine, and it wasn't as effective for her, and then she changed to Mounjaro. But with the cost of the Mounjaro, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to give the WEGOVY a go. So the food noise for me, when that quietened down, I felt so much more in control. I don't know why, but it was like it was just a constant not thinking about food. I did obviously had to think about food, but portion sizes were much smaller. I felt so much better. And I just really want to get back to that. And I don't know why. You know, is this something I can't learn? I'm really concerned that, you know, regardless of whatever diet or weight loss plan that I decide to do, when you stop taking it, you know, you're going to put the weight back on. I've got to learn a new technique, or I've got to get to a point where I feel totally amazing and something flicks a switch in my brain and I feel I can do this now. And December is not a good time for me to be trying to do this alone without any support or help. Weight loss groups don't work for me. Again, I think it's just, they have done at certain times. I've done Slimming World, I've done Weight Watchers, I've done them online, I've done them in person, and I'm such a yo-yo with it. But yeah, I just don't feel at the moment. The big problem for me was going to the groups and everyone chatting and I can't hear, and me getting really frustrated and people not following the plan, and I wasn't following the plan. So weight loss groups for me at this time, they're just not for me. And I know they work for other people and that is brilliant, and I'm all for whatever works for you. But I've got to really find, you know, what works for me with food noise. Another one of my problems is I become really obsessed with something 1 minute and then it lasts a week or two and then I forget I'm even doing it. So that's the good thing with the weight loss injection, is that you've only got to remember to do the weight loss injection once a week. I did it last night, so all I've had to eat today is nothing. I'm just on the coffees, and that's really the pattern that I got into last time, and that was basically having my coffee in the morning and then having a sort of brunch, lunch, and then having my evening meal, but reducing the size of my meals and having my clear protein drinks and having my fruit and my snacks, but having everything smaller, but kind of like eating more often and trying to do that intermittent fasting. So sort of I wasn't probably eating before maybe 11:30, and then it was the night time really. I didn't have that cut off, and I need to be better this time. I need to kind of go, right, you know, 8 o'clock, we don't eat after that, or I don't eat after that anyway. So yeah, I need to really like address that, the time. And I think maybe I just need smaller goals. I need to drop back down. I'm kind of like, I'm embarrassed that I've put the weight back on, but it happens. It happens, I think, to a lot more people than they would care to admit. I've been really having a problem going back to the gym. I'm going, but I'm just going so sporadically because of the problem I've had with my hand. I can't, like when I go to the gym, I have to change and adapt so many exercises because I can't press. I can't put my hand flat on the floor. I can't press to do a press up. I have to kind of like plank on my arms instead. So I'm having to make so many adaptations for the gym. And also I'm a nightmare in the winter getting up and going in the morning when it's dark. I just am. I don't like doing it, and I cannot find a way to click myself out of this problem, because when I go, I love it. The trainers are brilliant. The community is brilliant, and I absolutely love it. But I just can't get my head out of bed in the morning at 6:15 to get there for 7. Even struggling going to work, to be honest with you, in the winter is a nightmare. I've got 3 weeks left at work, 3 full weeks left at work, and then I break up for Christmas holidays. We have a forced closure where I work, so I'm actually off for the best part of 2.5 weeks, which I'm absolutely delighted and really looking forward to. Then I have another 3 weeks in work, and then we are off on holiday to Lanzarote for a bit of winter sunshine. We do normally go away in October. We do normally have a 10-night holiday. Just different things have happened this year, and we just didn't book anything, and we didn't go. We did go to Lanzarote for a little bit of time, end of September, to see our friend Jackie and to stay with Jackie, which was lovely, and we're so fortunate and very grateful to have a friend to stay with, and that's where we're staying again in January. She's already got us a list of jobs to do for when we go over. So yeah, I don't know whether my sort of winter blues are, because I'm very happy. I'm a very happy person. I'm very content, like, with my life. In the winter, I love staying in, watching the TV, cozying under a blanket, putting the candles on, you know, being in with my husband. And, you know, I'm not really a big party gal. I don't go out gallivanting and drinking. You know, that's really not me. I really, really love being cozy at home. But I don't know whether not having that late winter sort of bout of sunshine has had a bigger impact on me this year than I imagined it would do, really. So yes, there we go. But my reasons for sort of starting now and not starting in January is because I know I probably quite easily in December could whack on another stone quite easily without thinking about it. And I think we might have a salad for tea, because this is the other part of the problem cooking in the winter, is that you get into all that lovely cozy food and you see some gorgeous stuff and you're like, that leg of lamb looks nice, or, you know, nice bit of mashed potato, dollop of butter, and just everything's just all the sort of cakes and the wintry treats. Oh, I should have this one. And, you know, every day it's just turning into that. So I feel like I need to give my mind some space from this food noise, because the food noise feels like it's eating away at my brain. And if I don't do something about this, I'm going to be in big trouble. So I have bought from Asda the 3-month starter pack. Now, I already have 2 injections left on the 0.25 milligrams of WEGOVY that I bought last time. But in this starter pack, you get 3 pens. You get a 0.25 milligrams, a 0.5 milligrams, and a 1 milligram. So, and I also bought a new sharps bin because I've still got the old one and I need to arrange to have that one taken back. And the cost of those 3 injections was £368.87. I did my application on the Thursday morning and thought it was going to take a couple of days. I wasn't sure if I was going to have to submit photographs and my weight on the scales again, but I didn't. And the next day it was approved, which was the Friday, and I received it on the Saturday, before, just bang on 12 o'clock it was. And it all came in like a cool pack. I wanted to order it and go and pick it up from Asda, but the option wasn't on there. So I thought, right, well, I'll just do the 3 months. I'm committed then. So I've kind of got 3.5 months. I've got my 2 injections left in this pen and then 3 months. So that should take me to, is that the middle of February? So I've got December, January, February, hang on, all of December, all of January, all of February. So it should take me to the middle of March, really. And we'll just take it from there and see how I get on. So that's where I'm up to, my loves. Here we go again. I've used my RENPHO scales app to get weighed, and I really need to do some measurements. I might do some measurements tonight with Jed. I'm 13 stone 2. I'm 5'5". My BMI is 30.6. My body fat is 39.5. My metabolic age is 60. That needs to change. I need to change. So, would love to hear from you in the comments. Do you know what? Make some suggestions for recipes. I don't do stews. I like salads, but I just don't fancy them in the winter. Is there such a thing as a winter salad? I don't really know. But what I am going to do is I'm taking a friend out today and we're going to go for a walk around a local garden centre and have a coffee and a catch up. And then on the way home, I'm going to call to Morrison's because I need to get some food and I need to do some prep for work for the next couple of days. I am not buying food at work because the choices are really poor. it's like bacon butties, sausage butties, something and chips, wraps. The only probably decent thing to eat is soup. And yeah, why buy soup at work when I can make soup myself? I made some gorgeous sprout soup last week, and I think I don't know what to make really for work this week. I don't know, maybe a bit of broccoli and cream cheese soup, something like that. So yes, throw me some ideas in the comments of what you think is nice and light to eat in the winter that is not Stodge City. So that's all from me today. Thank you so much once again for joining me in this video and putting up with my stopping and starting and weight loss shenanigans, whatever it is you want to call it. Please don't forget to give this video a little like, thumbs up on your way out, and I always appreciate a little comment, you know, from you to know where you're watching me from, and see, have you watched this all the way to the end? I'm quite interested to know if you do. So yeah, whatever is coming up in December, I know people are probably watching Vlogmas videos and interested in all what's people are buying from Home and Bargain, and here I am a month before everybody is even thinking about trying to lose weight, but you know, that's what it is. That is what's going on in my life. I can't pretend any different, but yeah, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.